Hey everybody, Casual Movie Guy is back here. Today I'm talking about the new comedy Spy. So Spy is a spy comedy thriller starring Melissa McCarthy, Jason Statham, Rose Byrne, Jude Law, amongst other people, and this movie is fucking hilarious. This is by far the funniest movie I have seen all year long. I could not stop myself from laughing. My stomach hurt so much. I thought I had a six-pack. I was laughing so much by the end of this movie. It was freaking hilarious. Oh my god. I thought it was a little dull for the first 30 minutes. There were some laughs here and there, but after the 30-minute mark, it just picked up immensely. It got so funny. There was jokes, and they were all hitting. Hardly any of the jokes in this movie fell flat. I went into this movie expecting not a lot because I don't like Melissa McCarthy. I'm not a fan of her. I think she tries way too hard in her movies, especially in movies like Tammy and Identity Thief. I hate those movies because she just tries so hard to be funny. And she's a funny girl. She's a funny actress. If she just stopped trying so hard, she'd be a lot funnier because she's really naturally funny. On her show, Mike and Molly, I think she's hilarious because she's more subtle about things. She's not like obnoxious and annoying all the time like she is in most of her movies. But in this movie, she's toned down. She's held back a little, and they put kind of the restraints on her, which is a good thing because she works in this movie. She's hilarious, and I didn't hate her at all. She still has her quirky McCarthyisms, but they work in this movie. She kind of plays on the fact about that, and it was really awesome and cool and funny to watch. Another character in this movie is Rick Ford, played by Jason Statham, and he is the highlight of the movie in my opinion. He is so goddamn funny. So many things happened in this movie with his character that I was gut busting laughing. If you've seen the trailers, he's kind of this over-the-top agent. He thinks he's badass all the time. He thinks he's the best of the best. And in the end, I thought he was going to be this really badass guy who is just kind of really vain about himself and thinks he's awesome and the best there is. But he's really a shitty agent, and that's so funny to watch. He was, like, awful. He messed up so many times. He almost compromised the mission several times. He was a really shitty agent, and he goes on this rant at this one part, and you've seen the trailers, you know part of it, but he just goes on this rant about all this badass shit he does, and every time he says something, it just gets more and more unrealistic, and it was one of the funniest things I've seen all year long. It was hilarious, that rant, and the best part was, just before you think it's gonna go way too long and over the top, it kind of cuts off, and it ended at the perfect time. I couldn't have asked for a better scene. Speaking of Statham and McCarthy, the back and forth between these two in this movie is fucking amazing. It is perfection. It is comedic perfection at its finest. The back and forth is just, I couldn't have asked for anything better in this movie. It was so funny. They played off each other so well. I don't know if they've worked together before in film or TV, but the chemistry between those two was perfect. It fit so well into the film, and it made the movie so much funnier. Another actor I want to talk about is Jude Law. This guy severely impressed me in this movie. He did such a good job. You don't know if he's good or bad. It was really interesting to watch. He added another layer to this movie, and it just made it a lot better. I hope this guy gets a lot more work because he's pretty underrated when it comes to Jude Law, because I think the dude is a really, really good actor. I think he should get a lot more roles. Some people are saying he might be Bond, but I don't know if I wanted to be Bond, but I think if he does maybe a different type of spy movie, that could be fun to watch because he did really good in this movie. Another thing I want to talk about is that I did not expect this movie to be anything other than a comedy. I went into it thinking I'm going to get some good laughs, maybe it'll be funny, maybe it won't, but it'll be a comedy. And what we got is a comedy that's pretty good when it comes to the whole spy thing. What we get here is a pretty damn good spy movie. It was interesting, the action was really good and well filmed, it was fun, it was interesting, and it had a pretty good damn plot to it, and I wasn't expecting that at all. I went into a movie expecting a comedy and got a pretty damn good action spy thriller in the end, and that made the movie so much better. Because a huge problem with comedies nowadays is I feel like they're just comedies and they just try to throw a lot of jokes at you. That was one of the problems I had with Pitch Perfect 2. It felt like too many jokes and not enough story. But this movie had a great story to it. It had good plot twists. It had interesting characters that I felt relatable. And there you go. You have an awesome movie. All those things put together makes a really, really good movie. This is probably one of the best movies I've seen all year long. I did not expect it to be that funny. I came out of it just wanting to see it again. Who knows? I may see it again if there's nothing else to see. A lot of big movies coming out, but I plan to maybe see this again. Maybe not. Not sure. Nothing else I'm going to really say about this movie. If you want a negative about it, though, I think that they could have... Like I said, the first 30 minutes were a little dull and boring, but if they would have added maybe a few more jokes or made it a little more interesting at the beginning, then it probably could have worked better and made the movie better as a whole. It just took a little to take off, but once it did, great film. Overall, I'm going to give this movie a 10 out of 11. I know, really high score, but this movie is fantastic. I recommend everyone go see it. Even if you're not a fan of Melissa McCarthy, I'm not a fan of her, and I love this movie. Other than that, nothing else I can say. Casual Movie Guy is here. If you want to hear more from me, you should definitely hit that subscribe button. Make sure to like this video. Check out some of my other ones, and I'm out.